What's up, self-healers? Lisa Lightfeather here. Welcome to my channel, Closing the Gap. We make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and your spiritual journey. Today I want to speak on the topic of holding on to items that may carry certain energies. Yes? So as we know, things that we adorn our bodies with, we adorn with intention. Right? You don't just want to put anything on your body. You want to adorn your body with intention. Yes? And so sometimes we are gifted certain things. Someone will give us things. We'll hold on to things from past relationships, whether it be other girlfriends or love interests that we've had. Whatever it is, we're holding on with family members. We're holding on to certain items because they have sentimental value to us, but we haven't really considered what the connection may be with that item. Yes? So today I'm going to go over a couple of things in regards to items, their symbology, what it means when you adorn these things on your body. Yeah? And so, like I said, sometimes we have items that were given to us from previous relationships. And so as we know, items hold energy. Yeah? Especially in the spiritual community, we have a tendency to hold on to spiritual items without thinking about what the items really mean. Yes? So releasing items that no longer serve you is an important spiritual ritual. Yeah? And so these items hold spiritual meaning. They hold energy. And items can be a direct line to another person's energy. Yeah? So the person that gave it to you can be a direct line to you. Right? And so you want to consider, what is it that you're holding on to? Yeah? These things hold memories of past places, past people, and sometimes these memories aren't so good. Now, if they're good memories, then keep the items. I'm just trying to kind of bring some insight to things that we hold on to that may carry certain energy. Now, some of the materials that hold energy, like clothing, and woods, metals, crystals, things of that sort, pictures, So you want to think about it first before you just go throwing things away and then you may regret it later. But I want to kind of bring into your awareness how these things do hold energy. Yeah. So someone giving you something to wear on your head. Yeah. A headdress, a crown, a hat, something like that. Now, we know that we cover our heads for spiritual protection. We're covering the crown chakra because the crown chakra is energy can be released and sent to the crown chakra, yeah? And sometimes when we're under spiritual attack, it is the crown chakra that is attacked, yeah? And so it's one of the reasons that you'll see a lot of people in the spiritual community and other communities as well. All types of spiritual beliefs and religions cover their head for protection. Yes, because hair carries energy, the head, the crown chakra, and so having something in your possession that no longer serves you that covers the head could potentially be someone who is vaping your energy from your spiritual energy from the crown chakra. Yeah. So adorning your head and protecting your crown chakra is important, but be aware, be conscious of what you're covering your head with. Yeah. So a headdress or a hat or something like that was given to you by someone else, a girlfriend, a boyfriend, a previous lover, or some other counterpart, wherever you get it, And when you purchase these things that cover your head, you want to cleanse them before you adorn your head with them. Yeah, you want to set your intentions in whatever it is that you're covering your head with. Yes. Okay. So, because if you're covering your head with something where someone who may have had negative intentions, it can be a form of mental control. It can be a form of spiritual control. Right. So I'm teaching you a little magic here. And so let's move down to the neck. And so we all know that we all wear things on our neck as a form of protection, as a form of our truth, as a form of symbolizing who we are, what energy we carry. I have a, it's very tiny, but it's a pine cone, an open pine cone, which symbolizes the third eye being opened, yes? And so anytime you wear jewelry, you want it to have some significance, some meaning to it. Now, I'm speaking from a spiritual perspective. I'm not talking about when you dress up and you want to wear a certain piece of jewelry to match your outfit. We're speaking from a spiritual perspective, yeah? So if you're wearing spiritual items, you want them to carry meaning, right? And so someone gives you a necklace, right? We wear stuff like black tourmaline, rose quartz. We wear these crystals that hold spiritual symbolizations, hold spiritual meanings, hold spiritual protection. But what we're speaking about today is something that someone has gifted you that no longer serves you. Yeah, and you're holding on to that energy. So what are some of the things that a necklace could symbolize if it's not something that's serving you, if someone gifted it to you, right? So it can symbolize an anchor. It can symbolize a spiritual hook that someone might have on you. Yeah, it can bind you to their energy. It can symbolize control, because what do animals do when they are about to attack another animal? They go straight for the neck. And people do too, you know, they go straight for the neck. And so be aware of what you hang around your neck. You understand? And so you want to set your intentions in what you hang around your neck. Okay? And so I'm going to give you some pointers later on these people are no longer in your life, but you want to keep the item and how to cleanse it and set your intention for that item. Yeah? So you don't have to go rush and throw everything away. But if the item's not serving you, then yeah, you might want to throw it away. But if you don't, I'm going to give you some pointers on how to keep the item and reset your intentions in that item, right? So the necklace can also symbolize closing off your truth. Yeah. Now we're speaking about things that no longer serve you, or there's something someone may have gifted you, and they may be foe and not necessarily friend. Yeah, that could be a possibility as well. Or you're taking some item that you got offline and you don't know where it came from. When you put an item on your body, you want to feel the energy. You want to cleanse it first, but you want to feel the energy of that item you're putting on your body. And if it doesn't feel right, get rid of it. Yeah. Or do some serious cleansing on it if you just have to have it. But items carry energy. If I sold this necklace to you, when you put this necklace on your neck, it'll have my energy in it. Yeah. And so this is with all items. Yeah. You go to the thrift store and buy clothes and stuff like that. You want to cleanse that stuff because those clothes carry the energy of the other person. Now, this is another thing. Wearing someone else's shoes. Yeah. So people go to the thrift store, they say, oh, these sandals are cute, this is that. That's all good and gravy, but you want to cleanse that stuff because you don't want to walk someone else's path, right? So even what you put on your feet is significant in a metaphysical perspective. It's significant, yeah? And so you don't want to walk someone else's path by putting someone else's shoes on your feet. Yeah, you know, when your children put your shoes on and they walk around in your high heels or their daddy's shoes, it's because they want to walk the path of their mother and father. They want to be like their mother and father. Even the child knows that if I step into these shoes, that I can take on the energy of the person that owns them. Right? They know it unconsciously. They know it, they know it in their spirit. Okay, so let's move on to the wrist, yeah, or no, let's move on to the waist, yeah. And so we know that we adorn our waist, yeah, with items that protect us, that protect the sacral chakra, that protect the solar plexus. And so we might adorn our waist with waist beads. We might adorn our waist with a belt of some sort, and it's a sign of protection. Like you'll see me a lot of times, I'll have a red belt on that I wear. It keeps me grounded, and it's an item that I use in order to protect my power center and my sexual center. You don't want those places to be attacked. A lot of times that's where people will attack you at. Yeah. Let's go back up to the crown. Also, you're protecting your third eye. Yeah. But we'll move on from that. Now we're in the sitter where we wear waist beads, or we'll wear a belt of some sort. If someone gifts you something like that, right, and you need to make sure that it's cleansed. Now, see if this person is no longer a part of your life. Let's say an ex-lover. Some girlfriend gives you some waist beads, or you buy some waist beads at the thrift store or at the market, the metaphysical store. You buy some waist beads. You want to make sure that stuff is cleansed. The person that made those waist beads, they're putting their energy into it, especially if it's precious stones, like some type of crystal or something. And so you order something off of Etsy or something like that. You want to make sure that stuff is cleansed, and then you want to feel it. How does this feel? Does it feel good? If it doesn't, then you want to cleanse it until it does. Because you definitely don't want to put anything around your waist that has negative energy in it, right? And so what are some of the things? We've already talked about what we do with it. We use it to protect our sacred space and our power center. If someone has ill intentions and they've given you something to tie around your waist, a belt, or waist beads or something like that sort, it can take away your willpower. It can take away your sexual energy. Yes, it is a form of binding, of tethering you to the person. Yeah, and so you want to know that when somebody gives you something to tie around your waist, you want to make sure that that thing is clean, because what they're doing, just say for example, if it's a past lover and they give you something to tie around your waist, they're tethering you to them in some way, form, or fashion. It's a form of control, right? So you want to be aware of that, yes? And so we also know that tying something around your waist is a form of protection. What are the intentions that are set in the item is what's important here. Yeah. So what are the intentions? You want to ask yourself that. Now, the intentions may have been good at the beginning. The person, they care about you, they love you, they're your best friend, so on and so forth. And they gift you with some waist beads or something like that, and then y'all fall out. Yeah. And so you're still walking with that person's energy around your sacred space. So you can cleanse them, reset them, set your intentions into the item, or get rid of it, right? So let's move on to the wrist. And so with the wrist, the left hand is receiving. Yeah. And so if we want to receive protection or love, we might wear black obsidian. We might wear rose quartz on our wrist. If we want a higher intuition, we may wear amethyst. If we want to be able to speak our truth, we may wear lapis on our wrist, on the left hand, because we want to receive those things. Yes. And on the right hand is our hand of giving. And so if we want to be more loving, if we want to be more kind, if we want to speak things that are good for people, we might put lapis on our right hand. We might put rose quartz on our right hand. Or if we want to provide protection for someone, we might wear the black obsidians, the black obsidians. You might wear shungite. You might wear hematite, or any type of black stone for protection, right? If we want to be more grounded, we might wear a red stone or a black stone on our left hand. Okay, so these are the positive things about wearing adornments on our wrist, outside of it just being beautiful, right? And so someone gifts you something with for your wrist, and it's a bracelet of some sort. Yeah. So we talked about the ideal of the left hand is the one that's receiving, and the right hand is the one that's giving. But bracelets also symbolize spiritual contracts. They symbolize bonds, control. They symbolize being restricted. What do the police do when they want to subdue you? They handcuff you. Yeah. And so looking at it's almost like a metaphysical shackle. Yeah. And so you want to know, what am I wearing on my wrist? Who gave this to me? Who gifted this to me? What is our relationship? Do I want this person's energy tethered to me in this way? Right? And so you don't just adorn your body with just anything, all willy-nilly. Oh, this is cute, put it on. Look at when we're talking from a spiritual perspective, you want to look at the metaphysical meaning behind it. Yeah. And you want to look at the person that gifted it to you, and you want to ask yourself, what is this person's intentions? Now, you get something off of eBay, Etsy, something like that, again, you want to cleanse it, right? And we're going to go over that at the end. So let's move down to the ankles. Yeah. And so it's the same type of concept with the ankles as it is with the bracelet. You know, it's a metaphysical shackle, right? Now, if we wear something on our ankles, we may wear it because, for one, it's beautiful, it's sexy to have something on your ankles. For two, it can be for grounding. You know, you want to ground. It can be for grounding sexual energy, even depending on what you're wearing around your ankles and you know, your intention. It can be protection. I have some bells that I wear around my ankles that the bells sometimes, when you're doing certain work, you can kind of drift off into different realms, and the bells, hearing the bells tether you to this realm. Yeah. So looking at it from the spiritual side, from the protective side of what anklets and stuff like that mean. But if you're looking at it from the metaphysical side of someone who doesn't have good intentions for you, it's a bond. It's to stop your forward movement. It's like again a metaphysical shackle. Yeah. So those are some of the things, some of the spiritual items that people can gift you, that you can buy yourself. You always want to feel the energy of these items and make sure that your spirit feels good with these items. Yes, that goes for anything in your house, right? Buying stuff from the thrift store, people gifting it to you, whatever the case may be. Now, let's go over, if you want to keep the item, right, and some ways to cleanse the item. You can do a salt burial, where you bury the item in salt for a few days or overnight or something like that. And you want to set your intentions in that. Yeah, you want to set your intentions. Maybe put some protective crystals in there, or if your intentions are love, maybe put some rose quartz in there. You can also do a salt water soak, you know, so soak it in salt water, you know. You can do a Florida water soak it in Florida water, like make a Florida water bath to put the item in. Yeah. You can leave it out in the sunlight and the moonlight to dry it. Yeah. And so you're further cleansing the energy of whoever or whatever the intentions were set, and you're resetting your intentions into that item. Yeah. Of course, you can use smoke like tobacco, sage, Palo Santo, in cleansing the items, right? So this is what I have for you today on how to protect yourself from certain items, whether they're gifted to you or whether you buy them online, and setting your intentions, resetting the energy. Yes. I think I skipped over the ring. Yeah. And so when you wear a ring, rings are also spiritual contracts. Like, what do we do in weddings? They're spiritual contracts, right? And they should hold some significance. They should hold some meaning, right? So here I have on my finger, I have the hands holding an eye. This could be considered Masonic, but I'm not an Eastern Star or affiliated with the Masons, but some people can consider that because they have that symbol that they, like the triangle with the eye in the middle. Now, this is occult knowledge. This is all occult knowledge. For me, this is a symbolization of being awakened and seeing oneself. Yeah? Seeing oneself. Yeah? And so I love this ring, but like I said, anytime that you adorn your body with something, know the meaning behind it, know why you're adorning it. Yeah. Well, this is all I have for you today on Closing the Gap. If you like my energy, if you're feeling my vibe, don't forget to like and subscribe, and leave a comment down at the bottom if you would like to, about some of the spiritual items that you have or some of the things that you've experienced with certain items and it's in the energy that it carries. Also, don't forget to ring the bell notification so that you know when I upload. Thank you for tuning in to Closing the Gap. We make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and your spiritual journey. Y'all have a good day.